Tonight in Iowa City, a Big Ten champion will be crowned, and all 7 Big Ten teams have a legitimate chance. So buckle up as we bring it to you next on the Big Ten Network. And the Big Ten Network is proud to bring you the 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Iowa City. And when I say all 7 teams have a chance, I mean it. As you take a look at the national rankings brought to you by Dr. Pepper, all 7 Big Ten teams will feature in our top 10. And hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Always great to be with the 4-time Big Ten all-around champion from Minnesota, John Roethlisberger. And, John, we knew this was always your time, but coming into this, we really don't know what team's going to win this.
You know, this competition every year, as a gymnast, one of my favorite competitions. As a spectator, the best meet of the year in men's gymnastics, and this year it's going to be one of the best ever. This field is so tight. Now, if you had to pick a favorite, you got to look at Illinois and Michigan. They're both ranked in the top 4, but after that, it's razor thin. The team that comes in here and hits the most routines is going to be your Big Ten champion.
All right, let's talk all around since you won 4 of them, and we start with the 2 co-Big Ten gymnasts of the year.
Yeah, this battle is going to be awesome as well. The all-around championship is one these guys all want to win. Minnesota's got a great one. Shane Wiskus, he's number 2 in the nation right now in the all-around. He has had an amazing year. He's got the complete package. He does not have any weaknesses. I think if he hits, this meet's his to win. But the co-Big Ten Gymnast of the Year is from Nebraska, Anton Stevenson. He has had an amazing season himself. He is the leader of this Nebraska Cornhusker team. He certainly is going to be in the mix. And watch this kid vault. So much fun to watch him there. He's number 1 in the nation. But there's a guy from Michigan who might just have a little chip on his shoulder. His name is Cameron Bach. He's number 4 in the country. He was not named co-gymnast of the year, and he has something to prove here. He absolutely can win the Big Ten all-around title. I think right after Shane Wiskus, you actually got to look at him as the other guy that could be up there along with Anton Stevenson.
All right, let's take a look at how it will work. Tonight, we'll crown a team and all-around champion. Tomorrow, the individual champions, and what you love, 5 up, 5 count.
5 up, 5 count. No room for error. You got to hit. Any mistakes go right to the bottom line of that team score.
All right, speaking of scoring, John, you do such a great job breaking it down.
Yeah, the scores for men's gymnastics, they can be complicated, but to keep it simple, 10 points of the score come out of execution. Execution is mistakes, falls off the apparatus, steps on the landings. That comes out of that 10 points. What's left of that 10 points is added to the value of the 10 most difficult skills the gymnasts do. So they add up those values, add it to what's left of execution, and that is your final score. And we'll talk about that throughout the evening.
J.D. Reed, what a season for the Iowa Hawkeyes, as the Hawkeyes will start on the pommel horse, Iowa, getting a share of the Big Ten title along with Michigan and Minnesota. And here we go, the 2019 Big Ten Gymnastics Championship for the men's are underway. Kevin Johnson, who's got a career high of 14 on the horse.
Oh, and this is a big routine. He's back in the lineup. He was not in the lineup for a meet late in the season, but they put him back in, and you could see why early, but he just gets too far back. Those shoulders get out of the plane of the horse, and you cannot save it on pommel horse when you have that mistake, and this is big. We talked about 5 up, 5 count. Iowa on the very first routine of the competition, they have a fall. They have to count this routine with 4 gymnasts yet to go on this event. This is big. Ooh, another mistake. You hit the pommel right there. Otherwise, a good finish. This is a good event for Iowa. You know, I look at their routines, and they've got great routines, but they haven't hit top to bottom as well as they're capable of. And again, that miss comes and rears its head there on Johnson's first routine.
Wyatt Tyndall. Remember that name, Tyndall. There's 3 Tyndalls here on 3 different teams. It's Wyatt for Penn State on the vault.
Penn State is a contender here at the Big Ten, as really are all the teams, but they start on an event, vault. That's not their strongest event, but they got to land and hit clean, just like Tyndall did right there. That was a decent vault. with a 14.8 start value.
Dylan King, now Nebraska 4th in the nation on P-bars, 2nd in the Big Ten, and Dylan King, a freshman, will start for the Cornhuskers.
And I think for Nebraska and Iowa, honestly, they're both kind of similar teams. They don't have the highest start values in this competition, but they got to come in and they've got to hit it clean. Iowa already with a mistake. We'll see if Nebraska can get out of the gate cleanly here on parallel bars.
14-15, career high for the freshman.
What a spot to be for a freshman. Really the biggest stage so far of his collegiate career.
We're talking about the 2015 Junior National Team High Bar Champion.
And this is a clean routine so far. Gotta stick landings. That is gonna be so big right there. That is huge for Nebraska. They have got to stick landings. You stick a landing, you get a 1/10 bonus to your score. And for a team like Nebraska that's got lower start values, that is absolutely critical for them.
Let's go back to the horse and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Your host, Evan Davis, still waiting for Kevin Johnson's score. Evan Davis will be competing in the all-around for J.D. Reeve. And as we're waiting, what a job J.D. Reeve has done. First of all, he was super excited about hosting, but to get a share of the Big Ten regular season title for the Iowa Hawkeyes, he was super happy, John.
No, absolutely. And you know, it's funny because we talked about Iowa's start values on the events. It's the lowest out of all the teams here, but they had a game plan this season. We're going to maximize the execution side of the score to get that team score as high as we can, and they did, and that's why they got a co-share of that Big Ten regular season title. This routine, I cannot tell you how massive these next 4 routines are for Iowa. So far, this is perfect. Oh, and on cue, this is absolutely devastating for the home team. Right now, he's deciding what he needs to repeat. This is called a woo. And he just, you know, it looked good. Honestly, it looked good. Maybe the elbow just buckled a little there at the end. Does repeat the skill. Oh, and that was it, man. That was the end of the routine. Remember, 1 point off. You come off the apparatus, that is a 1 point fall. 2 falls for Iowa so far in pommel horse. That's 2 points.
Reminded you what we said, 5 up, 5 count. The Minnesota Golden Gophers, 2nd to go on the high bar. David Pochinka, 13-7 career high, John.
And this is a big spot for Minnesota as well. Starting on high bar can be a really tough place to start because you're taking big risks like that. Beautiful Tkachev. Comes another one. Catches in cross arm. Big air. You're not going to see a bigger Tkachev than that one right there from Pochinka. High bar tends to be a lower scoring event out of the 6 events for men's gymnastics. So even if Minnesota hits here, they will not be in the lead. And that's fantastic again. Stuck landings for Minnesota. Really all the teams are critical, but for the teams with lower start values, it is going to be imperative that they make some of that up by sticking those landings.
Second vault for the Nittany Lions, Parker Clayton.
Also does the double full. Man, we're seeing a lot of stuck landings so far early in this competition. Did go outside of that line, though. You saw the right foot over that white line. That is a 1/10 deduction for 1 foot. Both feet go out. That's a 3/10 deduction.
The Cornhuskers have 3 all-arounders. Evan Hymanson is one of the 3. He's 2nd to go on the P-bars for the Cornhuskers.
And you saw that score from Dylan King, a 13.65. That is a fantastic starting score for parallel bars. Beautiful skill. That's called the Bobsar, from one end of the bars to the other. And that's a Tapelt back to the middle.
(14-2) career high for Evan on the P-bars.
And I'll be honest, I do not think he can do this routine better than he's done it so far. The only thing he needs is to stick the landing at this point. Just a small hop. Look out, Nebraska is coming out confident. 2 for 2 early in the parallel bar rotation. Big routines.
Right there to greet him, Jim Hartung in his 14th season as an assistant coach, one of the all-time legends. As we go over to the Ohio State Buckeyes on the rings. Third to go is Alex Wilson right in the middle of that 5-up, 5-count lineup. You see Sean with that 13-3-5 and Robert Costia starting things off for the Buckeyes.
Those starting scores are not bad. It is hard in men's gymnastics to get over a 14. Starts out with the Maltese right to the Nakayama or bounce cross. Important that the shoulders are flat between the rings and those strength holds are held for 2 full seconds. You guys can put your judging hats on home and you be the judges. Was it 2 seconds? Nice swing combination. We'll see a lot of those double fronting skills. Those are called Yamawakis. Full twisting double layout, little piked in the air, but does the important part, and he sticks the landing. Assistant coach Casimiro Suarez, always the greatest cheerleader on the floor.
All right, Minnesota back on the high bar, which we need to remind everybody. Last year, Minnesota finished second in the NCAAs. They started on this apparatus, so Mike Burns was really excited with his draw here in Iowa City for the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships.
Yeah, Mike was convincing himself to be excited for this draw, Dean. I'll be honest, you're never excited to start on high bar, but they did it last year, and that's what you build on. You tell your team, we did it before, let's do it again. And so far in this rotation, they've looked great.
Career high of 13-8 for Tim Catala on this event.
And another stuck dismount. Man, we talked about how tight this meet is going to be. And so far, there are some teams hitting routines and sticking landings.
Yeah, you can feel the energy in here as Braden Boremio for Penn State, third to go on the vault.
Another double twist. Pike down a little bit coming into the mat, took that step. Those are both deductions, but other than that, pretty clean routine.
There is Randy Jemson, the head coach. Andrew Zimbal, fourth to go on the P-bars for Nebraska. As we mentioned, they are fourth in the nation on this apparatus. Illinois is on the floor. They're third in the nation. And I want to remind everybody that Michigan is on the bye this first rotation. They will start on the horse in our second rotation when Illinois goes to the bye. Anton Stevenson. As we saw Andrew Zimbal getting ready for it. Anton Stevenson, co-Big Ten Gymnast of the Year.
And I can promise you all he cares about is the team title, but the all-around is in play. Do not forget, you're not going to win the Big Ten title on the first event in the all-around, but you can lose it. All these routines are critical. Nice peach half to hand, a couple tenths off of those steps.
His brother Chris, Big Ten Medal of Honor winner last year. You can expect Anton to win it this year. Chris is already in the Nebraska Medical School. Anton is headed there.
Ooh, very short on that double pike. Would have loved to see him stick that dismount. That would have saved him about a half a point. But that routine finishes a great rotation for Nebraska. All mid-13s or higher, and one score well over a 14.
Alex Diab, he's won the ring title 3 years in a row, but he's pretty good on the floor, folks. 6th in the country, 2nd in the Big Ten, last to go for Illinois.
He's outstanding on the floor exercise, and you can see those scores for Illinois. They did have one score in the 12s. They had a mistake on that routine, but whew, Alex keeping that in bounds. That could have been big. Beautiful double layout. One thing that's unique about this competition compared to the regular season, you can see the equipment is up on a raised platform. We call that a podium. And that makes the floor and the vault in particular much bouncier. So we'll have to see how these gymnasts react to being on the floor on a podium, if they can handle those landings. That skill he did moments ago, where he looked like he was almost laying on the ground. He was not laying on the ground. That's called a Maltese, usually done on the rings. Triple twist. A few more steps on the landings than I'm used to seeing from Alex Diab. I'll be honest with you. It was a good routine, not his best.
There's Justin Spring, the coach of Illinois. Outstanding gymnast at Illinois. He's been an outstanding coach. Speaking of great coaches, here's Mike Burns, the head coach of Minnesota. As we mentioned, second at the NCAAs a year ago and one of 3 teams that tied for the Big Ten regular season championship.
Minnesota looking good on high bar so far. All their scores 13 or higher. Important to finish those pirouetting skills like he just did right near a handstand. Judges take a lot of deductions on those. Clean routine. Not a huge start value. Got a 14.9 in that high bar routine, but that should score decently.
Big Ten Freshman of the Year, not part of the 5-up, 5-count, but as part of the all-around stats. Michael Fletcher for the Illini. Bright future for this young man.
It really is. He's will be in the mix here for the all-around, but Justin Spring tells me he's one of these guys that he's a gamer. And he gets on the competition floor and he steps his game up a notch, which is great as a coach, but it also can be frustrating because in practice he doesn't always show that same ability to perform that a coach would like to see. So, but so far looking good here on the floor exercise. Certainly in the conversation of one of the top 5 or so freshmen in the country this year. Double twist dismount, easy dismount, sticks that landing, gets the bonus.
Earlier, the other co-gymnast of the year, we showed you Anton Stevenson. Now it's the Minnesota Golden Gophers' Shane Wiskus.
Trying to cap off what would be a fantastic start for Minnesota. And this kid can go huge on this event. But he takes some huge risks. Starting right here, watch this. The Coleman, beautiful. Not done yet, got another one coming right here. Right on the bar, perfect. The big risky skills out of the way. Just got to hit some handstands, get off this bar, and it's going to be a great start for Minnesota. Oh, and that was one of the weirder mistakes you are going to see on high bar. Oh, and that is devastating for Shane Wiskus and the Gophers.
He won the Big Ten Gymnast of the Year in 2018. He won it again this year. Had a shaky start last year. A little shaky here. Second rotation. Coming up on BTN. The Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships on BTN are brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper. It's the sweet one. By Meijer. Sign up for M-Perks. Get personalized rewards. Save 15% more at Meijer. You're just minutes away from saving at mperks.com. And by T-Mobile. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile has you covered. Carver Hawkeye Arena, you're home to the 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. All 7 teams legitimate chance to win it. The Penn State Nittany Lions through the first rotation. is looking solid. Dean Linke along with three-time Olympian John Roethlisberger. As we get set for the second rotation, Penn State, that score right there puts them in the lead for Coach Jepsen.
And you got to expect that, though. Vault is a higher scoring event. Even though that it's not one of their better events, they were consistent, landed on their feet, and that is why they are in the lead. Now, keep in mind, the other teams get to go through vault, and they will get those high scores later in the competition.
The P-bars for Nebraska, 69.15. Stevenson struggling a little bit. Alex Diab struggling a little bit as well on the floor.
Unusually low score for Alex.
And Iowa, heartbreaker. J.D. Reeve told me before this event he felt good about every apparatus for his team. And then Minnesota, Shane Wiskus, little stumble. And you see the Buckeyes on the rings. Alex Wilson with that 14-2.
And that is above their four-score average. We'll talk about that four-score average because that's how they rank the teams from the regular season. And that, for Ohio State, a great start is Nebraska as well. A lot of gymnastics yet to go, but I will say for Minnesota and Iowa, devastating starts, honestly, especially Iowa. They had 2 falls on pommel horse, and that Shane Wiskus fall on high bar, that is a big one because that is a huge score. A mid-14 he's capable of, ended up with an 11-8, so we'll see if they can recover.
All right, remember, Michigan had a bye in the first rotation. Our first look at the Michigan Wolverines, who, by the way, are the last Big Ten team to win a national championship. They won it in 2014 in Ann Arbor. A year earlier, they won it at Rec Hall. Talking about national championships as the Michigan Wolverines start off with Emir Cole. He has been a model of consistency for this program.
He is a fantastic gymnast to watch. One of the most aesthetically pleasing gymnasts. And when I say that, the execution side of the score that we talked about, the toe point, the feet together, the form is as good as you can get. Almost falls off right there. What a fight. Oh, and that's big. That is a big error at the end. That handstand, he basically stopped on the horse, hit his legs on the horse, and that could basically take away the value of that dismount. Look right here. It looks like his right leg hit the end, and then when that other leg stops, and then he presses the handstand, opens himself up for massive deductions from the judges.
Here's another look at Chuck Schemelka's all-arounder, Evan Hymanson. He's also got Griffin Keeler and Anton Stevenson in the all-around, but first up on the high bar is Hymanson.
Nice lay out to Kachev. A little flat on what's called a Takamoto. Needs to get that closer to a handstand.
Career best of 13.7.
This is a safe routine. I don't think it's going to be a 13.7, but it's a good start for Nebraska.
First Buckeye on the vault, Dexter Ritker will start off for Ohio State.
Going to do the Yarchenko style vault, round off onto the board, double twist. We saw him do that against Illinois a couple of weeks ago, and he nailed it. Takes a little bit of a step there.
4th in the conference, 7th in the country. Mac Lasker on the horse.
And if you look up prototype for a pommel horse specialist, you're going to see the body type of Matt Lasker. Long, skinny body, makes for a great swing. Look at that stretch.
Career high, season high, 14.6 for Lasker.
A little bit off there. That's how you do it. Just a 12.3 from Emir Cole in the leadoff position, but Mac Lasker straightens things up. That'll be a big score.
Nice work for Lasker. I was sitting with Kurt Golder yesterday, and Lasker came over talking to Coach Golder about about his goals for this event. Sean Nybarger, second to go for the Buckeyes on the vault.
He's got a nice 2.5 twist. Adds a half. Great start for the Buckeyes so far. One of their higher scores to start the meet on rings as a team, and now they're rolling on vault.
John, it's not been a great season for Ohio State, but they are coming on at the right time.
You know, I talked to Alec Yoder, really the leader of that team. We'll see him later in this competition, right before they competed, and he said, look, we started to build something in that last dual meet against Illinois that they won, and he's hoping they can carry that into this competition, continue to build. They're underdogs, but they know they got a shot.
Dylan King, second to go on the high bar for the Cornhuskers.
The leadoff, Evan Hymanson, did get that 12-9. Knew it wouldn't be a high 13, but it's not bad. Now it's time to build.
Chuck Schemelka called this event the most improved event for the Cornhuskers.
Nice Coleman, full twisting double back over the bar. Not done. Here comes another big release. It's the Kovacs, perfect.
Donnie said it's feast or famine on the high bar for everybody.
It's been that way since the beginning of time. This event, like the pommel horse, it can be so unforgiving.
King's looking good.
Yeah, we talked about the stuck landings right here. There you go. And to talk about just that landing right there, he gets a 10th bonus as opposed to taking a step, which a lot of times is a 3/10 deduction. So if they do that on a 10 routines throughout the competition, that's 4/10 per routine. That can be massive.
Any other time in this young man's career, we'd be talking about him off the top, but he's not been healthy. The great Alec Yoder for the Buckeyes.
2.5 twist, big step to the side. I do think that the second foot did cross that line as well, which means both feet out is a 3/10 deduction. He's been going crooked on that vault a lot lately. I don't know, he's got a sore shoulder. That's what's keeping him out of the all-around. I'm not sure if that's affecting his vault as well.
Third to go for Penn State on the P-bars. Michael Burns, no relation to Mike Burns, the head coach of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, but Mike Burns sure loves talking about this young man.
He's a good gymnast. Penn State obviously in the hunt, leading the way after one. And this is an event, Randy Jepson told me, they just haven't been clean through 5 routines this season on this event. They're going to do it, though. Now's the time.
Yes, Penn State has not had big-time scores this season on the P-bars, but like you just said, Coach Jepson was hoping they could block it all out and bring it right here.
Just a tiny hop on that double pike. A good rotation so far for Penn State on this event as well.
Live on the vault, Mr. Wilson for the Buckeyes.
Another 2.5, same vault we saw from Alec Yoder moments ago. This one done quite a bit better. Keeps it right down the middle. Just a few deductions on that landing. Yoder's just a 13.75 for his vault. You like to see that vault get into the mid-14s at least.
All-arounder for Michigan, Jake Moore, next on the horse for the Wolverines. He comes in, John, with a career high of 14-1.
And he needs to do that right here. You can see another 12-3 from Justin Murphy for the Wolverines here. Like Iowa, 2 mistakes on the pommel horse rotation. And again, this is the first event as well for the Wolverines. They sat on the bye during that first rotation. Dean, you talked about Minnesota starting on high bar like they did at the NCAAs last year. Kurt Golder told me 3 of the 4 national championships his team has won under his guidance. They started on pommel horse. They use that as a good omen, but so far not a good omen for the Wolverines. But that routine stops the bleeding.
Yeah, Michigan winning that national championship 14, 13, and 2010. So back to the high bar, another all-arounder for Coach Chuck Schemelka.
hits so far for Nebraska on this event, but now they've got 2 more guys left. You'd like to see those scores build. Their highest so far is a 13-5. Nice sequence of releases there. Very few places to take deductions on those type of release moves.
Griffin Keeler, a sophomore for the Cornhuskers.
Oh! Fighting for that 10th bonus, does not get it.
John Roethlisberger told you a sleeper in the all-around. Cameron Bach, our first look at him on the horse.
And I don't even want to call him a sleeper. That's insulting to this young man. He is definitely one of the favorites, and now with Shane Wiskus making that mistake on high bar, it is wide open for Bach to be the Big Ten all-around champ. But this is a big test right out of the gate. This is fantastic so far. A little dip on the handstand at the end, but that was an outstanding routine. Jake Moore got a 13-9. Cameron Bach puts an exclamation point on it. The only thing that I would have to say on that routine is his dismount. He went up and his feet dipped back down clearly on that handstand. So I don't know. The judges, again, can be very harsh when they see that happen.
Michael Burns with that 14:05 moments ago. Wyatt Tyndall on the P bars for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Don and Janice Tyndall, they have 3 boys on 3 different teams competing.
This is fantastic. Randy Jepson said Wyatt is just beat up. He's sore. He's held together by tape and string, but not today. Penn State has come to play. Outstanding.
They really have, as Anton Stevenson just got on the high bar for Nebraska.
Big one here. They have hit. They've been relatively clean. Just a high score on this event so far of a 13-5, but keep in mind, high bar's a lower scoring event, but they'd like to finish right here with a stuck landing. They get it. Chuck Schmelka, head coach, you can see him on the right-hand side, has got to be thrilled. They honestly, through 10 routines, they could not do a whole lot better.
What a great shot of Chuck and Anton Stevenson there. Chuck holds him in such high regard. For Ohio State, Joey Bonanno, the anchor. Alex Wilson's having himself a good day so far.
You need a big one here, and they can. Double front. Big double front. Big step forward out of that, which the judges will hit him for, but that is a 15-2 start value. I still think he should get in the 14s.
Sam Zakutny, all-arounder for Penn State, last to go. 2 pretty good scores coming before him, and Michael Burns and Wyatt Tyndall.
For an event for Penn State that they are not highly ranked. In fact, they are the lowest ranked Big Ten team in the nation on this event. They have been outstanding here, and Sam Zakutny, he's one of the best in the Big Ten on this event. Little flat on that first giant Yamada. What a finish. Penn State just might be in the lead after 2 as well.
Minnesota very good on the floor. They're 5th in the nation. John Roethlisberger, and last to go is one of their all-arounders, not part of the 5-up, 5 count, but Justin Karstadt. along with Shane Wiskus, will compete in the all-around for Coach Burns.
And Justin really has been doing a great job lately. He actually went to Canada. He is from Canada originally, competes for the national team up there. Mike Burns told me they recently had a trip up where he got put in at the last minute because of an injury to a teammate, and he performed well and really made a name for himself as one of the contenders for the World Championships coming up, and maybe, who knows, an Olympic team down the road.
As you look at Justin Carr's stat, it's worth mentioning that Shane Wiskus, a 13-9 was his score on the floor.
Yeah, it's not been a good start, honestly, for Minnesota through 2. They have a 12-7 on floor, as well as 3 other scores in the 13s. This is a good event for Minnesota, an event they need 14s. And again, they didn't get it done in the second rotation. Only 4 more events to go. Certainly they can turn it around, but they can't wait another rotation.
Well, they'll have a chance to think about it. They will be on the bye in the upcoming rotation. So you know Coach Burns and his staff will talk it over. Last to go on the rings for Iowa, Bennett Wong, an all-arounder. And he has been part of this resurgence under J.D. Reeve.
The rest of the Iowa team had a very good rotation on rings. All their scores 13 plus. They did have a score in the mid-14s, which is fantastic. And again, Iowa really plays it a little bit conservative. They're not going to take any chances. They are going to make sure they go up and do clean gymnastics. Obviously, it didn't pay off on pommel horse, but the rest of the way, I would be shocked if they don't just hit the rest of their routines. Good finish.
Right before him, Jake Brodarzon, a 14.55 on the rings for the Iowa Hawkeyes. A nice finish as part of their 5-up, 5 count. Penn State, Michigan, off to pretty good starts. We're back in Iowa City. This weekend on BTN, don't miss a great slate of Big Ten lacrosse as 3 outstanding matchups come your way. It's all right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app, including women's lacrosse, Michigan at number 2, Maryland, 2 undefeated teams. You see a lot of Hawkeye colors here at Carver Hawkeye Arena as we take a look at the results here of the second rotation by each team. Minnesota, so great nationally, they will not love that score.
No, of the teams that have done 2 events, they're 8 points out of the lead. Now, obviously, Illinois, Michigan with the bye so far, so not a good start for the Gophers.
67-7, Michigan, their first event, 66-4 on the horse.
And you know, that's better than their 4-score average, which they're ranked by, but Michigan is a good horse team. They can do so much better than that 66-4.
Mac Lasker, though, with that 14. Jake Brodarzon, 14.55 on the rings.
And they recovered from that bad pommel horse start. That's a fantastic performance for the Hawkeyes.
68-3. And the Buckeyes with a 70.65, including Sean Nybarger. The 14.5, John.
They left some on the table, though. That's a 71-plus vault team. They left a few, they left a point or so on the table they'd love to get back.
And for Penn State, their P-bar results, Zakutny with a 14.5 and Tindo with a 14.65.
And that 69.65 for them, that is huge. Penn State finishes on their 2 best events, so keep an eye on them.
Anton Stevenson, Big Ten College Gymnast of the Year. Both he and Shane Wiskus through 2 events. Not been to their normal standard, JR.
Yeah, you know, that Nebraska score, honestly, I could have seen that be higher. They hit their routines. They had a lot of little deductions in there, but I thought that would be in the 66s.
Chuck Schmelka, as we start to look at the coaches, Kurt Golder. Talk about a guy who bleeds Mason blue.
Always stoic, never smiling.
Rustam Sharapov, like John Roethlisberger, a multiple Olympian. J.D. Reeve really settling in here in Iowa, coming over from Stanford several years ago. He's almost in double-digit years now for Iowa. As you see, Illinois getting ready to start. Illinois on the horse. Minnesota Golden Gophers will sit this out. As Blake Martin gets set, what will be the message for Coach Burns and his Golden Gophers through 2?
Forget what just happened. There's 4 events. You only can control what's in front of you, and that's how it is for all these teams. Illinois did not have a great start on floor. That was not the floor performance that they're capable of. They could get into the 70s easily. They only had a 67.95, so they know they've got to turn it around, and this is an event they can do it. They've got some great individuals loaded with pommel horse specialists, guys that just focus on this event.
Yeah, they're 5th in the nation on the horse, 3rd in the Big Ten, as there's a lot of good teams on the horse in the Big Ten. Leading off will be Blake Martin, a 13.75. Justin Spring telling us yesterday that the key is just stay on the thing. Stay on it. 5 up, 5 count. Don't fall off.
I used to tell myself before getting up on pommel horse, find a way to hit. Just figure it out. Find a way. Even if things like that happen, you stay on. No matter what, just stay on. Oh, and he's got that attitude. Little trouble on that dismount. There was plenty of deductions in that routine, but I'll tell you what, Justin Spring still has to be proud of that kid. Went up there and refused to fall. Sometimes that's all you got to do on horse.
Justin Spring telling us yesterday that the season did not finish well for Illinois, but he said they've got their ducks in a row and ready to go. First vaulter, the all-arounder for the Hawkeyes, Bennett Wong, 14.55 career high.
Nice double full, a little short on that landing. Anytime you see the shoulders start to dip down to the height of the waist or the knees on a landing, that is a deduction, plus he hopped sideways and one of his feet went over the line. So not a terrible start, but plenty of room for deduction as well, unfortunately.
Penn State off to that good start, and now they go to the high bar, John, where they're 1st in the conference, 3rd in the country. And we start out with Fabian Valdez.
Tell you what, Penn State must have heard our open where we didn't mention them specifically because they are coming out with something to prove.
Randy Jepson saying Penn State steady and solid on this event.
And I'll tell you what, if you're looking ahead, if Penn State can hit high bar, even 4 out of 5 routines on this event, they are going to be in contention, maybe even the lead as we head into the 2 final rotations, which are their best events. And there's one, and a stuck landing.
What a start for the Nittany Lions. John, I asked Randy Jepson yesterday, I said, Penn State aside, who are the favorites in this event? Randy Jepson, that guy right there, looked me straight in the eye and he said, Penn State. Even though I asked him not to include him, that's the only team he mentioned is Addison Chung up next for the Hawkeyes.
Gotta love the confidence. There you go. Oh, he fought for it, but does take the step.
Back to Illinois on the horse. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year, 13.5 career high.
Yeah, Blake Martin just a 12.15, not a good start. Good fight, a few deductions throughout, but not bad. Starts from a 14.6, should get into the 13s. Gotta see 13s. Anytime any of the teams are scoring below 13s, that costs you the lead. If you get into the 13s, you're keeping yourself in it. Anything above a 14, that's the score that helps your team win the meet.
This is a great rotation for Big Ten teams. As you see the NCAA ranking 4th in the country, 2nd in the Big Ten, Matthew Whitaker, who will follow up Marty Stretch. Whitaker, John, a 13.95 career high on the rings.
He started with a beautiful Maltese right at the beginning of this routine. Little problem on that handstand. Picked up a little bit of swing. But he kills it perfectly on that giant. Already stretching the lead off a 14. Labored on that press to handstand. Little short on the half in, half out, takes a step forward. That will not be a 14 in my opinion, but that's still going to be a good score. Michigan turning it around after a tough start on Pommel Horse.
Mitch Mandozzi, third to go on the vault for Iowa, 14-3 career high, right in the middle of that lineup for J.D. Reeve and the Hawkeyes.
He will also do the double twist. You see a lot of these tonight this year, Chenko style. Man, you can tell they are really trying hard to stick the landings, and that is oftentimes how you take those steps forward. Looking for the floor a little early.
Wyatt Tyndall, third to go for Penn State on the high bar. Reminding you they're the #1 team in the conference on this apparatus.
Right on his fingertips on that Tkachev. They did flinch a little, though. Chris Sands at 12-4. But I tell you what, poise, Tyndall, another stuck landing for the Nittany Lions.
That's how you get it done, particularly picking up for Chris Sands. Jake Brodarzon, who was phenomenal in his last event, fourth to go for Iowa on the ball.
They need a stuck ball. Hey, he's happy, but big hop on the landing and a foot out of bounds.
So Wyatt Tyndall for Penn State was on the high bar. Now we go to Jesse Tyndall, the freshman for the Buckeyes, who basically told his parents that he wanted to create his own experience, so he didn't go with his brother in Nebraska or Penn State. He's a Buckeye.
Good for him. He should do that. Oh, big error right there. Ohio State, rather, having a good parallel bar rotation. I wouldn't say great, but this mistake, Tyndall's parallel bar routine, is going to hurt a little bit. Decent double pike finish. With 2 to go, they're going to need a couple big scores to keep themselves in the mix.
Rustam Sharapov. How great of an Olympian was he, John?
Well, just an Olympic gold medalist. You know, it's all right if you're into that kind of thing. I personally was never into those medals unless they had chocolate on the inside.
Over to Illinois, Ian Skirky, 13.85, best score on the horse for the Illini.
They've got 2 big routines to finish. They've got a couple decent mid-13 scores after that slow start from Blake Martin.
Waiting in the range, Michael Paradise, second in the country.
And Skirky is a guy that Daniel Ribeiro, assistant coach from Illinois, thinks could be the next Michael Paradise. He's got that swing. He's got that ability. Just maybe needs a little seasoning, but this routine looks well seasoned. Slow start for Illinois, but they are a veteran team.
Last to go on the vault for the Hawkeyes. Stuart Brown comes in with a 14.35 career high.
The biggest vault for the Hawkeyes, 2.5 twist. And the best vault executed as well. Just that hop to the side. 1 foot out of bounds, but that should be their biggest score of the rotation.
Speaking of big scores, Ryan Dunning has put up a 14.55 on the rings. He's fourth to go for Michigan, fourth in the country on rings.
And this would be massive for Michigan if he can go 14.55. 2 of our favorites, Illinois and Michigan, started slow, but they are coming here in this rotation. They're coming after Penn State.
They are. James Reed with that 14.05.
Clean 1.5 twist. Kurt Golder liked it.
Let's go over to Sam Zakutny. A little powerhouse for the Penn State Nittany Lions on the high bar.
Another Canadian gymnast comes out of Ontario, Canada. Like Emira Cole, who we saw early in this competition on floor exercise, Sam Zakutny, also one of those gymnasts who really excels on the execution side of the score. Beautiful form, beautiful gymnastics. Nice laid out to Tkachev with a half there to begin. You can just see those feet literally glued together, except when he does the straddle to Tkachev. One more. Nice Lynch, a little work getting that giant over. Wow. I think they stuck at least 3 landings to the Nittany Lions. The fans have got to be pumped, and they have just put themselves in position. If Penn State can hit 15 out of 15 on the last 3 events, I think they're going to be your Big Ten team champions.
Alec Yoder on the P-bars for the Buckeyes.
Next is timeout for Penn State, Sam Zakutny.
Alec has battled that shoulder injury all season long. It's been a tough thing for him to deal with here in his senior year. Really wanted to go off on a high note, but he is a tough kid, unbelievably talented gymnast.
John, remember last year it was Sean Melton and Alec Yoder, 1 and 2 for the all-around. Yoder not even able to go in the all-around.
Yeah, I was hoping to see him in that all-around fight, but talked to him before the meet. He's all about the team. Big dismount, double front half, and nobody in the sport of gymnastics can stick a landing like Alec Yoder.
Last up for Illinois, number 2 in the country behind only a Penn State superstar that we will see later, Paradise, ready to go for the Illini.
And this cat can swing. He will be in contention for the individual title on this event here and at the NCAA championships. The extension is world class. Maybe only matched by Penn State Nittany Lion, number 1 in the country, Steven Netarasic, who we'll see later.
Smoking it. He's crushing it, John.
If they come back and win this meet, you're going to look at that routine right there as the turning point. Oh, my goodness. It is Paradise.
Paradise. 14.95 was his career high. He's going to break it with a 15-1 with that performance. Cameron Bach up on the rings for Michigan. Woo!
It is getting exciting.
Bach, 3rd in the Big Ten, 5th in the nation on the rings. His career high, a 14.56.
Looks like the shoulder's a little high on those Maltesers. Need to be perfectly flat. Michigan has quietly had a fantastic rings rotation. 3 scores, 14 plus. Talking about 14s help you win it. 13s keep you in it. They can finish with another 14 here. It is going to tighten up. Double-double, really low shoulders on that landing. Just the savvy to stay on his feet right there was impressive, but a good finish for the Wolverines here.
Evan Davis, an all-rounder for the Hawkeyes.
Oh, gosh. really so many of the Iowa vaults tonight, they look like they're really opening up and looking for that landing too early. They want to stick. Sometimes you can want to stick too much, and it causes you trouble.
Davis's score will not count, though, toward the team title, only the all-arounder. That'll be the same for Emir Cole, who, along with Jake Moore, will compete in the all-around, but not part of the 5-up, 5-count for Coach Golder.
Beautiful Yamawaki sequence right there. That's almost textbook. Exactly how you want to do it. Good fight on the landing. Trying to keep himself in the mix for the all-around.
Speaking of all-arounders, moments ago on the floor, Anton Stevenson for the Cornhuskers.
See all scores in the 13s. Anton certainly capable of more than that. Floor's all about the landings, but that one perfect.
Next on the ring for the University of Michigan, Jake Moore.
Beautiful double twist and double back. Used to be not that long ago, it seems, you'd see maybe one or two of those in a season. Now it is everywhere, those double twist and double backs. Impressive skill.
Anton Stevenson, 8th in the country on the floor, 4th in the Big Ten.
And the biggest reason why is he's so good at landing. Very few steps in this floor routine. That's what you need. But this one's the biggest. Oh, and just takes that step back. And that is a perfect example of where you might have had a 4/10 swing. That step might have been a 3/10 deduction. If he sticks it, he gets a 10th bonus. But nonetheless, fantastic performance.
Last to go in the all-around for Michigan, Jake Moore, a sophomore from West Bloomfield, Michigan, part of that amazing freshman class that Kurt Golder brought in a year ago. That, of course, also includes Cameron Bach. A lot of hype around Cameron Bach and Jake Moore coming into Ann Arbor a year ago.
You know, and rightfully so. These kids have, they've got the talent, they've got the natural ability, and Michigan certainly trying to maintain that reputation that they've built over decades. Kurt Golder, the winner of 4 NCAA championships in his tenure at Michigan. So far. Another double twist and double. That's how it's done. A lot going on in the air on that dismount, but very little going on that landing. Beautiful.
Through 3 rotations, the Penn State Nittany Lions lead it, but Michael Paradise, a career-high 15-1 on the horse, and Alec Yoder delivering the heat on the P-bars. The 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships coming to you from Iowa City, Iowa. Carver Hawkeye Arena, 3 rotations in the books. As we take a look at the team store, remember, some teams have sat out because of the bye, but the Penn State Nittany Lions with the lead.
And here's how you want to break this down. If you're trying to compare apples to apples, you look at the average score per routine that each of these teams have so far. Penn State is still your leader. They average over a 13.7. Your second place team is still Ohio State. They're averaging a 13.67. Illinois actually would really be your third place team right now. They're averaging a 13.615 through their first two events. So when you take out that bye and you try to compare them on the same playing field, that is how they shake out.
And your all-around standing, Sam Zakutny with a 42.5 on that high bar. Solid.
Exactly how we handicapped it before the meet, right, Dean? Now remember, some of those athletes have had buys as well. So, you know, Cameron Bach, for instance, he has not done the same amount of events as Sam Zakutny or Anton Stevenson. So really, he is in that hunt very much.
All right, let's fly around and show you the results from the last rotation. We start with Nebraska on the floor. Anton Stevenson with a solid finish at 14-1. Illinois on the horse. Michael Paradise, of course, leave it for the Big Ten Championships to put your best score ever.
That's the time to do it. That was a beautiful routine.
14.25 for Ryan Dunning and the Michigan Wolverines. Fourth in the country in the ring, 69.25. Hawkeyes, Addison Chung and Stuart Brown, solid scores.
Yeah, Iowa they need a little more there. They're trying to catch up. They need some stuck landings.
Tough rotation there, although not tough for Alec Yoder. That's 66, though. Rustam Sharapov not in love with that score.
Yeah, that 12-3 at the end, that's a couple points swing for their team score. That would have changed a whole lot of things for the Buckeyes.
You see Zakutny with that finish of 13.7.
Man, that's tough, actually. I wouldn't have been surprised to see that into the 14s, but again, we talked about Penn State as a pure score. They're leading compared to the other teams that have done the same amount of events, but they're also leading that average. And I put myself out there, I said, if they can hit 15 for 15 on floor, horse, and rings, I think this is their meet to win right now. But obviously, a lot of things can happen. Illinois, Michigan, they're lurking, as well as Ohio State.
There's Alex Diab. All he's done is win 3 ring titles in a row in the Big Ten for Illinois. He's still warming up. First in the country, first in the Big Ten. 15-2 career high for Alex Diab. His brother Max Diab will go third. And we understand his 10-year-old brother Louis has already committed to Illinois. And I asked Alex earlier, and he said he's also a stud on the rings. That's his best apparatus.
Yeah, I actually think he's better than everybody else in that family. I think he's just going to blow him out of the water.
He is here. Louis is here with the Diab mom and dads. This is Joel Diaz. So you got a Diaz at 1, a Diab at 3, and a Diab at 5.
That's easy to follow.
Illinois, third in the Big Ten on rings, 5th in the nation, one behind Michigan.
Good back uprise Maltese, definitely held for 2 seconds. That is a plunge. It's like the Maltese, but it just held a little higher, lowers it down to the Maltese position. Oh, picked up a little bit of swing there. The savvy gymnast goes right now. Perfect timing on the giant. Kills the swing. Oh, and a break. And a big one. A big pike down on his landing. And he ends up short. Puts his hands down. That is going to be a rough start for the Illini.
Michigan first in the conference, second in the country on the vault. Kevin Penev, 14.5 career high.
Beautiful Yurchenko double fold. Not much to take, honestly, on that vault other than the hop on the landing. Kevin has a brother, Eddie Penev, who is part of the U.S. national team for a long time and also an outstanding tumbler and vaulter.
First up for Ohio State on the high bar, Dominic Shelley. Lead it off for the Buckeyes.
Ohio State certainly in the hunt. They are not out of it. Their problem, though, is this has by far been their weakest event. Lynch right there, a little slow coming out of it, not bad. Their four-score average this season on this event is a 64.2, the lowest four-score average for any team on any event in this competition. That's actually lower than a 13. They have to do better than that if they want to be in contention to win this thing. And that's going to help.
Solid start for the youngster, the freshman from Powell, Ohio, as Dominic high fives from everybody. Second vaulter for Michigan, Marty Stretch, who has topped 15.
Kevin Penev got a 14.25 out of a 14.8. Not sure how they found that much deduction. Beautiful Sukahara with a double twist. That does take a sizable step sideways as well as going out of bounds. So that vault, honestly, should not be higher than a 14.25. I'm curious to see what the judges do with it because Kevin Penev, in my opinion, should have been scored higher.
Satchel Hudson, second to go on the rings for Illinois, who dealing with some late season injuries, the Illini, just like Minnesota.
Yeah, they have had some injuries, key injuries. Clay Mason-Stevens, who was an outstanding all-around for Illinois, tore his ACL. But other gymnasts have had to step up. Satchel Hudson, one of those gymnasts. And you can see right out of the gate, fantastic Maltese position. Good swing sequence there. Little struggle on that arm bend. Feet came apart on that Giants. We've got to get the landing. Good job trying to get things right after Joel Diaz's 12.6. That should definitely be higher than that, probably into the 13s ever so slightly.
Justin Springs saying that with Alex Diab in the anchor, if everybody can stick, Illinois can be a powerhouse on the rings. Russell Johnson, third to go on the horse for John Roethlisberger's alma mater. You see Pochinka with that 13.85.
That 13.85 is good. 12.6 starting, though. I'd like to see a little higher than that from the first guy up. But this is the event. You mentioned injuries for Minnesota. Vitaly Khan, broken hand. He is out, and this is where it hurts Minnesota the most. Probably give up at least a point just by taking him out of the lineup, if not more. Johnson fighting. Takes a hop on the landing. You never take a hop on a pommel horse landing, but other than that, good fight. Should be in the 13s again, but Minnesota needs to finish. Two guys left. They need some 14s. Get back in this thing.
Third to go for Michigan, not in the initial lineup, Nick Guy.
He's going to do a 2.5 twist. Big time Yurchenko 2.5. Big hop forward, but that should be a nice score. Marty Stretch, by the way, only a 13.75. The judges found over a point off on Marty Stretch's vault, and I guess I need to go back to the code of points and brush up a little bit.
Nick Guy, though, we can tell you got a 14.45 for Michigan as we go to Max Diab.
Beautiful Azarian to Maltese. That skill is called so difficult. That is a world-class strength move. A little bit labored on that first Yamawaki.
Career high of 14.1 on the rings.
not think this is going to be into the 14s. However, he can get a 10th back. It's got to come with a stuck dismount. Double tuck, he does get the stuck landing. An easier dismount. That is a strategy that some of the teams have used in order to stick the landing, get the 10th bonus. It worked there.
Back-to-back Big Ten Gymnast of the Year, and he's only a sophomore, Shane Wiskus. Next to go on the horse for the Gophers.
And so far for Shane, unfortunately, the Big Ten Championship competition itself has not been kind this year or last year. But if there was ever a time to get right, it's right now. It's now or never in Minnesota. And that was good. Great fight from Shane. Trying to keep the Gopher hopes alive.
Second in the country, Meyer Cole, ready to go for Michigan, following that 14.45 for Nick Guy.
He does the 2.5 twist, 15-2 start, nails it. Unbelievable. A little bit of foot form in the air, and that is ironic because this is a guy that doesn't ever break form. That is the only deduction. So after the 10th bonus, he's at a 15-3. It just depends on whether the judges take a 1/10 or a 3/10 deduction for that foot form.
So we'll wait to find out the score for Cole, who has a career high of 15.5. We'll see how close he is as we move back over to the Illini, 5th in the country on the rings. A 15 even for Meyer Cole, who is 2nd in the country. Over on the ball from Michigan, Johnny Jacobson, all-arounder for the Illini.
And he is a guy that Justin Spring just told me today. He goes, I have never seen Johnny Jacobson better in his entire career than he is right now. He has been such a rock for this team all season long. Unfortunately, we talked about how much of a rock he was a couple weeks ago when they were going against the Ohio State Buckeyes, and unfortunately had some uncharacteristic mistakes in that competition, but he has been solid for them. He's had great preparation coming into this meet, and actually Justin told me, he goes, you know what, if there's going to be a surprise winner in the all-around, it could be this kid.
Senior from Syracuse, Utah.
Perfect straddle planche. Max Diab with a 14-3. He has set his teammates up, including his brother Alex at the end of this rotation for some big scores.
That's a new career high for Max Diab.
And that was a nice one as well. Yeah, Max Diab proved me wrong. I said he wasn't going to get in the 14s, but he did stick that landing, got himself in there. Now Johnny Jacobson trying to do the same. This is going to be a good team score if Alex Diab can do what he does and finish strong.
All right, talk about finishing strong. You're looking at a former national champion in this event, Anthony McCollum.
This is massive double pipe. Oh, no! Can I say it was too big? Holy cow, soup double pike. And that is a double whammy. We might not get a chance to see McCallum in the event finals, which would be really unfortunate because he is, without a doubt, the best vaulter in the Big Ten.
Alec Yoder, I told you earlier, 2nd last year to his Buckeye teammate Sean Melton in the all-around. He is up on the high bar for Ohio State.
And Ohio State had a big error early in the rotation, just 11.85 from Angel Leon. Again, everything coming down on the shoulders of the vet. Alec Yoder, gotta have a big one here. Double layout, sticks another landing. And this is the event where Alec hurt his shoulder catching one of those big release moves. It's getting better, but it's just not quite 100%. Didn't want to take any chances by doing the rings.
Cameron Balk, an all-arounder, not part of the 5-up, 5 count, but this young man could vie for the all-around title crown tonight.
Whoa, that was deep squat on that. And he was savvy enough to keep it on his feet, but that will be a deduction, but it's going to keep him in the hunt for the all-around, no doubt.
Alex Diab looking to become only the second Big Ten gymnast to win 4 straight titles on a single event.
And you can see why with strength positions like that. Perfect Maltese.
Your reigning national champion on the rings. Pure power here, John.
Had to fight a little on that straddle flange, but not a problem. Look at the veins and the strands of muscle. He has had a tendency to pike this full twisting double layout a little bit. Needs to try to keep it straight, but more importantly, he's got to stick this. Not bad. Pikes it a little too much, takes that step back. That's going to be a nice number for the Illini. Michigan and Illinois, while Penn State is on the floor exercise, they are coming.
Last to go for Penn State, Sam Zakutny, who is your current leader for the all-around. As you see, Brennan Pantazis, 14:05.
And I said if they went 15 for 15, they were going to win this meet. They have not done that. They had a flinch, 11.95 from Chris Sands, their captain, in the middle of this rotation. That doesn't mean they're not going to win, but now they've got to get it together. Two teams, especially Michigan, Illinois, coming strong. Beautiful so far.
Now on the ring for the University of Illinois, Jordan Kovac.
His teammate who went right before him, Brennan Pantazis, won the floor last year at the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships.
Nice Arabian double. Big hop out of that landing at the end, though, but he's got a nice start value, a mid-15. That was a great finish for Penn State.
14.15 for Zakutny. That will help his all-around chances. Justin Karstadt last to go on the horse for the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
The carriage is about to turn back into a pumpkin, Dean, if Minnesota cannot hit a big one here. They're running out of chances. Again, 14's the magic number.
Justin has a 15-3 career high.
And this is beautiful. No breaks. Cannot do it better. The veteran, when they needed it most, Minnesota gets it.
Solid performance for Karstadt. All-arounder for Illinois, Jordan Kovac, waiting to go for the Illini. And Michael Fletcher, the Big Ten freshman year, also will get a shot on the rings. A 14-6 for Alex Diab on the rings. Remind everybody that the top 10 today will qualify for tomorrow night's prime time individual titles right here on BTN. And Alex Diab has hung up the best score so far.
He's not happy with that score, I can promise you. 14-6. He knows he can do better, especially on that dismount. He's capable of a 15. We'll see if he can do it in the event finals.
Pretty good shot for his brother Max, who's currently third right now. As you could see, both Diabs in the finals.
Nice job. Jordan not really in the hunt to win this competition, but nonetheless, you like to see where you stand in the always important all-around competition here at the Big Ten.
So, John, while we're waiting for the final all-arounder on the rings for Illinois, the best score on the P-bars for the Iowa Hawkeyes was Nick Merriman. He was their leadoff. He came in with a 13.9 career high.
And you saw those scores for Iowa on parallel bars. Those were good scores.
Merriman would deliver a career high with this routine. We're seeing a lot of career highs here tonight in Iowa City.
We really have, and this team score for Iowa on this event above their 4-score average. Beautiful Healy sequence. That's the technique. We talked about the easy dismount. Just does the layout, sticks the landing, avoids major deductions, but more importantly, gets that 10th bonus. And that is what has gotten Iowa a share of the regular season Big Ten title right there, is that strategy of being consistent, hitting routines, and sticking landings.
Michael Fletcher, last to go. Again, all around. His score won't count for the team standings, but Michael Fletcher competing all around. 3 Illini in the all around. Fletcher, Jordan Kovacs, and Johnny Jacobson.
Beautiful. That is one of the nicest full twisting double layouts you'll see. Justin Springs likes it.
Justin Spring won a national championship in 2012, leading the Illini. Alex Diaz, best in the country on the rings. Emar Cole, money from Michigan. 5th rotation up next. The 2019 BTN Big 10K is coming to Grant Park in Chicago on August 11th. Represent your school in the 10K and 5K races, and then enjoy an incredible post-race tailgate. Registration is now open. Go to btnbig10k.com right now. Right now here at Carver Hawkeye Arena, Penn State Nittany Lions are leading it, and they will be on the bye as we head into the 5th rotation. They sit at 272.45.
And this will be a good judge after they go through the bye, because Michigan, Illinois, and Penn State really are your teams to watch. Michigan, actually, if you're looking at average scores throughout this competition, they're averaging a 13.8. That is by far the highest average of any of these teams. Behind them is actually Illinois, and then Penn State is 3rd. So if you look at scoring average for these teams, it goes Michigan, Illinois, Penn State. But because of the byes, that is why Penn State is currently on top. Now keep in mind, Penn State's 2 best events, pommel horse and rings. That's what they got left.
Phenomenal breakdown is Sam Zakutny and a couple Hawkeyes. But remember, byes are thrown in there, so there'll be several other gymnasts that will be sneaking in to that all-around story. And speaking of Penn State and Zakutny, he finished with a 14.15 in the 4.
And he is the leader in the all-around. But again, you mentioned guys on bye: Jake Moore, Cameron Bach, Anton Stevenson still in the hunt.
Minnesota on the horse, 66.85. Illinois on the rings, Alex Diaz 14.6. Michigan on the ball, Emar Cole flat 15.
And that's the big reason why Michigan has that big average. Illinois gets to go to vault next, so that'll be the equalizer for them.
Iowa scores on the P-bars and the Buckeyes on the high bar. Fifth rotation, as we told you, Penn State will be in the bye. Michigan will start on the P-bars. They're 5th in the country, 3rd in the conference. Jake Moore, Matthew Whitaker, Emeyer Cole, Anthony McCollum, and Cameron Bach with the lineup for Kurt Golder and the Michigan Wolverines. They finished second last year in the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships to the Illini. And as John Roethlisberger just told you, they're the leaders right now. Michigan, Minnesota, and Iowa, your Big Ten co-regular season champs. Michigan is going to flip-flop. McCallum's going to go third, Emeyer Cole. But up first, Jake Moore, the sophomore, who comes in with a 13.85 career high, a season high of 13.75. And as expected, we've seen several career highs for every single team as part of our coverage of the 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. Jake Moore
in the mix here in the all-around as well. And he is actually, if you compare him just to the leader, Sam Zakutny, taking out that bye, he is a 14.6 behind. So that would be a monumental achievement for him to get that score. Probably won't do it, but he is still in the mix. This has been a great day for young Jake Moore. Stepping, those are probably 3/10 deductions just in the steps, but makes up one right there. The double pike actually looked like it dumped off the bars a little bit. I thought he was going to end up short, but just rotated perfectly into the mat.
Illinois, 5th in the country, 4th in the conference. So many great Big Ten teams on the vault. Max Diab, Alex Diab will lead it off. This is Max.
He's capable of doing a front with a 2.5 twist. Waters down a little bit, but still does an incredibly tough vault. 2.5 twist, a little sloppy in the air. Doesn't take that big step. Looked like the toes went over the line as well. But Illinois got some big start values on this event. Again, taking the bye into consideration, they are still chasing Michigan, but they are also on the highest scoring event in men's gymnastics, the vault.
We told you there are 3 Tyndall brothers here. One for Ohio State, one for Penn State, and now for Nebraska. Mitch Tyndall, second to go on the horse for the Cornhuskers.
We talked about that scoring average for these teams. Nebraska currently sitting in the 4th spot. When looking at those averages. What a start. That was outstanding. Follows a 13-2 from Charlie Giles.
Alex Diab. His brother just got a 14. Let's see what he can do on the vault for the Illini.
Does the exact same ball. Let's see which brother's better. Man, a little corkscrewed into the mat. That's scary. You see yourself twist into the mat like that, but he handles it. I suspect, given the shortness of that twist on that vault, I think it's going to be a similar score to his brother Max.
Alex with a 14.05, Max with a 14. Chuck Shamelka looking on for the Cornhuskers. Second to go for Minnesota on the rings. Colton D, who has a 13.75 as his best ever score.
What Minnesota needs now is they need to be perfect the rest of the way. They need to stick a bunch of landings, and they're just going to need a help from the top teams. But so far, not the day the Gophers have been hoping for. Gophers lost a lot of senior leadership last year. They've had a big exodus of seniors graduating, which is always tough to overcome, but they've got some great youth on this team. Most notably, Shane Wiskus, certainly something to build on for the Gophers. just the troubles continue.
Yeah, you mentioned all those seniors from Minnesota. 4 All-Americans: Luke Aldridge, Tristan Duran, Yara Pochinka, Jalen Stevens, along with Joel Gagnon, Alex Wittenberg. Here's Nybarger. He'll step out of bounds on the floor for Ohio State.
And this guy can tumble, though, man. I love watching him on the floor. It looks like he's just playing gymnastics. Nybarger has a big start value of 15.6. But those hops, a lot of landing deduction. Oh, and that's an easy double twist. Gives away at least 3, maybe 6/10 just on that one landing. Can't do that. Got to make it up here with a big stuck landing. Full twist and double back, pretty clean. That is a great set. It's just the landings. You can't say enough about how important those are, and you add those up throughout the routine, and it's going to be big deduction.
Moments ago, Anthony McCallum, third up on the P-bars for the Michigan Wolverines, who look to be challenging for the Big Ten championship.
And looking over on vault, Illinois is putting up 14s, Michigan's putting up mid-13s. If they want to keep pace, they got to just take it up a notch. Looks like he hit the bar with his feet on that front 1 1/4. Nice bob czar. This is a good set. Drops it back a little on that double pike, but stays on his feet. Recovers nicely from that disappointing vault in the previous rotation, keeping Michigan in the hunt.
Shane Wiskus. All that hype last year after the freshman won the Big Ten Gymnast of the Year. He finished 6th in the all-around. See what he can do on the rings for the Golden Gophers.
Good Maltese, a little bit labored. Nice 1.5 twist and double back. Minnesota not giving up.
Anton Stevenson, from one co-gymnast of the year to the other. Anton Stevenson next to go on the horse.
And I tell you what, Nebraska is about to blow away their 4-score average on this event for the season, which is slightly over a 65, which is a 13 average per routine. If Anton can hit this. Oh, and he's fighting. Legs hitting the pommel right there. He's got to stretch it out. Oh, devastating. The all-around slipping away from Anton Stevenson, and any hopes of a big upset for the Cornhuskers as well. You can see their coaches. That's head coach Chuck Shimelka there on the left, Jim Hartung, Olympic gold medalist, on the right. He's got 30 seconds to get back up on the horse, and he is really taking his sweet time here, I'll be honest. Those 30 seconds go by quick.
Here he goes with that urgency. Chuck Shimelka, talking about this, man, says to me that he feels like he's learned more from him just about how to be a great person than the other way around. That's the kind of individual this young man is.
And he really has been a great leader for this Cornhusker team. Unfortunate pommel horse routine there for him, but overall a great career at Nebraska.
Emeyer Cole. Next to go for Michigan. 14.55 his best ever. 14.1 his best this season.
Now on the ball for Nebraska, Anton Stevenson.
John, coming off that 15 on the vault, how does that translate to the next event?
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. You got to get together and it all starts over. This is a clean routine. Oh, that's a break. Nice recovery into the double front end. Look at that. Savvy from the veteran, Emeyer Cole.
Emeyer
senior
Cole from Las Vegas, the senior. Jordan Kovacs, all-arounder for Illinois. 2 great scores to start for the Illini.
He does a Yurchenko double full. 3-10 step on the landing, a little form in the air.
Last to go for the Golden Gophers on the rings, Justin Karstedt. This one slipping away a little bit from Minnesota.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. That's putting it lightly, honestly, Dean. But they've still got a lot at stake. They got some individuals they want to get into finals. And you keep fighting. You keep battling. And I know that's the type of team Minnesota is they're just going to keep trying to wring every tenth they can out of every routine the rest of the way. You can only control what you do in this sport. Forward there at the end. Great horse routine in the last rotation. I suspect we'll see Karstedt in the pommel horse finals, and he continues with a good performance there.
Michael Fletcher, 14.05 and a 14 ahead of him.
Need to step it up a little bit from there. Oh, a 2.5 twist. He is out of bounds with both feet on that landing. Not sure if the judges saw that second foot, but other than that, my goodness, beautiful 2.5 twist.
Yeah, phenomenal for the freshman. Now we move to a sophomore from Michigan, Cameron Bach. Last to go for the Wolverines. A 14.65, by the way, for Fletcher. Illinois crushing the vault.
They did get away with a 1/10 deduction for going out of bounds there. Saved himself 2 10s. But this guy, he is in the hunt for the all-around. We've seen the other favorites fall apart, but Cameron Bach fighting. Beautiful. Wow, they needed that. They needed to keep pace with the 14s Illinois was putting up, and no doubt that one will do it.
Last vault for Illinois, Jacob Light, a career high of 14.85. His 4 teammates' big scores.
See if he can keep pace with Fletcher. Same vault. Again over the line, but nicely done. What a rotation for the Illini. Going to make it interesting with 2 to go.
Illinois hanging up a big number. They own this trophy from last year. They'd like to keep it and win it again. Michigan could challenge. Steven Netarosik for Penn State up next. Coming up next on BTN, we get you ready for the Final Four with the latest from Minneapolis on Big Ten basketball and beyond. It's coming up right after we're finished here in Iowa City, right here on BTN. Good luck to the Michigan State Spartans in the basketball Final Four. Taking a look at our numbers, reminding you that Several of these teams have had to sit out. Iowa with a 333.6.
And Iowa is got a lower average, but if you're looking at the scoring averages, really your top team right now is Illinois. But look at Illinois and Michigan. They have the two top average scores per gymnast, and they are just 1/10 apart in total team score. Penn State behind them also has the next highest individual average score, but it's really those three teams, in my opinion, to win this Big Ten championship. Illinois goes to parallel bars and high bar to finish. Michigan goes to high bar and floor. Floor is the highest scoring event out of all of those. So if Michigan is close or with a lead going into the last rotation, this is their meet to win. Illinois needs a massive parallel bar rotation.
You see the three Hawkeyes: Jake Brodarzon, Bennett Long, Evan Davis. Nebraska score on the horse. 14-1 there from Evan Criley. So we'll start here. Fabian Valdez, the Penn State Nittany Lions, second in the country, led by their anchor, Steven Netarasic, first in the country, first in the Big Ten. As Fabian Valdez will lead it off, then Burns, Mock, Baldwin, and Netarasic. We'll also see Zakutny, who is in the hunt for the all-around.
We've talked about how this is one of Penn State's two best events, but don't forget, it's pommel horse. It is the easiest event, along with high bar, to fall off of. But if you can start with a big hit, and this is a beautiful routine so far, it gives the rest of your rotation so much confidence. What a fight on that handstand. That was a critical save. Randy Jepson likes it.
Valdez won the pommel horse title at the West Point Open last weekend. As you'll see, Michigan now, Alec Christek will lead off for the Wolverines. Michigan and Illinois neck and neck.
So what's likely going to happen here? High bar, the lowest scoring event really typically in men's gymnastics. So even if Michigan hits well here, they're probably going to drop a little further behind Illinois. And if Penn State hits big on pommel horse, it could really be jammed in those top three teams. Beautiful full twisting double out. Oh, just gives away that hop. Tell you what, you're coming down from that high, finishing that early on that dismount. You got to stick it.
Michael Burns just got on the horse for Penn State. Valdez in with a 13.35.
That's a good starting score, but now they got to build. That'll keep you in it. That should go up. Got a 14.8 start value, and that was clean. Cleaner than Valdez, in my opinion.
Mike Moran first to go for Minnesota. They're fourth in the country on the vault, third in the conference. Mike Moran, a career high 14.7.
They got some guys that can make an event final on this event. But this is a tough one. You got to stick the landing almost just to get into the final, certainly to win it.
From the beginning, we'll take a look at Michigan Wolverines. Anthony Tolfick, a 14.1 career high. He's up second for Michigan.
Alec Christek, 13 to start. Michigan just needs to hold on to the bar. Oh, and on cue. Just a fingertip. And this is big. We talked about how high bar is a lower scoring event. That's when you hit. That's when you're successful on this event, but that is a 1-point fall. Meanwhile, in the background, you can see Illinois on the parallel bars. Illinois desperately trying to extend that lead, knowing full well Michigan's going to floor for their final rotation event that they can put a 70 up. They've got to have a decent-sized lead, and Michigan just given some space. Right here. Oh, and this is bad. This is where the 5-up, 5 count is so unforgiving. You go up and you fall once. Okay, you fall. That's a 1-point deduction, but you've got to collect yourself. And now 2 falls. This is devastating for the Wolverines, I got to be honest.
Sophomore from Canada.
Not over by any stretch of the imagination, but it just got a whole lot tougher. So we do another release here. Got to put the hands on. And the straddle catches it. That's a calculated move. He repeated the release move that he missed the first time, repeated it and missed it again. And that's a strategy. That's a decision that the gymnast and coach have to make together, and that time it just didn't pay off. You're trying to get that difficulty bonus that you lost when you missed it the first time and unable to cash in. All right. 3 big ones coming up for Michigan.
Second to go for Minnesota. Ben Isles on the ball.
Shoots him over to the side. Minnesota having a good time nonetheless.
Let's go live to the Pommel Horse, Penn State, Jack Baldwin. As we told you, second in the country. Steven Nedorosik will await after Jack. Baldwin.
I'm surprised Mike Burns just a 12.95. Did have a lower start value, and that's part of the reason why he did not score with Fabian. But I thought his execution was pretty clean. Beautiful one pommel work. That's where so much bonus comes from. 360 care, that's called the Zone, named after a Penn State gymnast. Got a 15.5 start value, and it's a really clean routine. A little break right before the handstand. But that was good. That's going to be a good score. Certainly should build. Nick Mock in the 3rd spot for Penn State got a 13.5. I think that one should come very close to a 14.
You see that 10-8 there as Anthony Tallfoot fell twice. Marty Stretch, though, can pick it up. He's got a career high of 14.85 on the high bar, a season high of 14.1.
Got to hit the rest of the way if you're Michigan. This is really clean. Stuck landings just amped up in importance. Perfection. Marty Stretch can't do a better high bar routine than that, and that is exactly the moment that Michigan needed it.
Here's Garrett Kosinski now for Minnesota, 14.9 career high.
And that was the first time he competed this vault. Handspring double front. Oh, and he just overdoes it. And he has really been a nice surprise for Coach Mike Burns. Really worked hard this year, got himself into the lineup on a couple events, and he has been big, especially on vault. But right there, unfortunately, just overdoes it a little bit.
First in the country, two-time national champion. You think of Penn State, you think of all those wrestlers that have won national championships, and this guy has got two as a gymnast for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
And he is an ace in the hole on this event. Very few teams in the entire country have somebody like Steven Yarotska that can do what he does, and that is score a 15 on this event, and right out of the gate, major break. Oh, but he recovers so well, gets it back together. Now it's all about rhythm. Sometimes, even the best in the country, things don't go perfect, but the best always find a way. And that was a big save. He saved the hopes of the Nittany Lions right there, no question about it.
Steven Yarotska. And now we go to Cameron Bach. Marty Stretch with a 13.15.
13.15 is good. But with Cameron Bach and Emir Cole left in the lineup, they've got to flirt with the 14s. Nice Kovacs. Don't forget the all-around title on the line as well for Cameron Bach. Oh, and right on his fingertips. That was close. Starts from a 15-2 on this event. It's going to be very hard to get to the 14s, but if he can stick it, it'll be close.
Cameron Bach, solid score for Michigan, and they really needed it. Here's Sam Zakutny, part of the all-around story here in Iowa City. He's up for Penn State.
And this is the big event he has to get through to keep himself in contention, not competing for the team, and not a great event for him, but he just has to stay clean, stay on. Trying to keep pace with Cameron Bach and Jacob Moore. Looks good so far, nice Savato travel. Just looks like he ran out of gas.
Who wants the all-around? Who wants it? All of the all-around contenders.
I mean, really, it's the Michigan guys so far that have been the cleanest. Cameron Bach and Jacob Moore. We'll see if anybody else can get in that mix, but that is just, that's so disheartening, especially on pommel horse. Such a hard event. Gets right to the end. Nice handstand finish.
Justin Karsat, all-arounder for Minnesota. See Kasiski with that 13.6. Moments ago, Emir Cole for Michigan on the high bar, career high 14.3. Emir seems to be relishing this opportunity his senior year.
Absolutely, and he is somebody that's doing the all-around as well. And he has been fantastic, been clean throughout this competition. Beautiful. Man, they needed it like they needed to breathe, and they recover as best they can from that 10-8 early in the rotation. Michigan fighting.
Yeah, Emir Cole saying don't forget about the seniors as the sophomore sensation Shane Wiskus last to go on the vault for Minnesota.
Nice 2.5.
Jake Moore, one of 3 Michigan Wolverines in the all-around. Not part of the 5-up-5 count, but his score for the all-around will count. He's got a 13-9 career high in this event.
Good job, the guys in the hunt as well. Kurt Golder knows one more rotation to go. Michigan trying to get it done. It's going to be a tight one.
Michigan will finish on the floor. Illinois, the high-flying machine on the high bar. Iowa's day is done. The final rotation, a tight one with a team title and all-around title on the line. Be sure to join us tomorrow. We'll be right back here in Iowa City for the individual competition of the 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern live on BTN and the Fox Sports app. Michigan Wolverine fans having a good time there in the hunt. Illinois, there's their P-bar score.
Their best routine from that last rotation. They did have some trouble, you saw in the middle of that rotation, scoring the 11s. But they've had some great ones too, including this from Sebastian Kiana. Nice giant Diamondov. Got to keep those knees and feet off the mat when you swing through. He is a taller gymnast, so that makes it extra difficult. That's what you got to do when you're in the hunt for a Big Ten championship.
Yeah, that 14-6 will put him in to tomorrow night's competition. You got to believe only Wyatt Tyndall has had a better score. Your team story. Iowa's done. They are in the locker room with that 398. Illinois will finish on the high bar where they always are so exciting.
I got to say something real quick on that team score. Penn State, you saw at the bottom of that rotation. That is not right. And I'm looking at the scoring system we have at our desk, and they did not add up their pommel horse score correctly. So I need to see, hopefully before we get too far into this rotation, what that score should be, because it is not a 327-2. They gave Penn State a 54 on horse, and they've added that score wrong. We need to find out why, because Penn State is in the hunt to win this competition.
This final rotation, you mentioned Penn State. They'll be on the rings. They're third in the country, first in the Big Ten. So great event for them to finish on. Illinois, second in the Big Ten on the high bar, fourth in the nation. Of course, last year, Chandler Eggleston, who graduated, won the high bar. And here we go. Penn State on the rings, third in the nation, the very best in the Big Ten. Braden Bormio will lead it off for the Nittany Lions.
And this is an event they can close a deal on. Not an event you typically have mistakes on. It's going to come down, or big mistakes rather. It's going to come down to the little thing. Most importantly, how they land.
Cutoff right now for top 10 on the rings is a 13.75.
Big start.
Alex Diab for Illinois. Career high of 14-2, season high of 14. Illinois trying to win back-to-back team titles.
And just so you know, the scores have updated. Penn State's actually in second, about 3 points behind Illinois. Absolutely a margin they can close because Highbar scores low and it's big risk.
Getting loud here at Carver Hawkeye.
Unbelievable! I can't even hear!
Alex Diab, Justin Spring over there with high fives. Charlie Giles, first to go for the Cornhuskers on the vault. They are third in the country.
Nice job, but man, I tell you what, it's all about the team competition right now.
Randy Jepson's Penn State Nittany Lions have a shot as we go to Greg Tamargo. Second to go on the rings for Penn State.
We're going to try to compare score per score with these other teams. I mentioned Penn State 2.95 behind Illinois. The first Penn State guy goes 14-1. The first Illinois guy goes 13-5-5. That's Alex Diab. That is a swing of 6.5 tenths. The lead is now 2.3.
Tamargo's career high is a 14.6, season high 14.5.
Look at that strength. We won't forget about Michigan. They are on floor exercise. Their first gymnast up, however, goes 12.45. That's not going to keep pace with the leaders. So far, the swing routine's great. Together here. This is where you run out of gas as a gymnast. A press handstand late in the routine, so tough. Does he have enough to stick the land? Can he get it around? Oh no! Devastating! And that is exactly what you worry about. You could tell he was tired. Looking at his grips, maybe he lost grip a little bit at the end of that.
So here's Russ Thompson for Illinois.
A big opportunity for Illinois, maybe to get a little more breathing room. They lost a little on the first gymnast up. Can they get it back here with Ross Thompson?
When you see Illinois on the high bar, I don't know about you, but I think of Justin Spring, their head coach.
Nobody did it better. Nobody did it better in big spots than Justin Spring. Just rewind the 2008 Olympics and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Nice Zolim in.
Thompson, a senior from Kansas City, Missouri. Wow. Cameron Bach. Third to go, live on the floor for Michigan.
And that 13.95 is big. We saw Penn State have a break on rings. Michigan trying to pass them as well as trying to catch Illinois. But Cameron Bach trying to close out an all-around title. She was the leader after 5 in a battle with Fletcher from Illinois as well as Jacob Moore, Cameron Bach's teammate. In my opinion, if Cameron Bach can hit the rest of this routine clean, he will be your 2019 Big Ten all-around champion, unless the judges have something else to say about it, which we have been in disagreement at times throughout this competition. Nice wide arm press to handstand. Slightly off, but you almost couldn't tell the way he was savvy enough to bring that around to his feet. That sequence. Nice triple twist dismount. Not sure that Michigan is going to close that 3.25 gap they had behind Illinois coming into this rotation. But Cameron Bach, certainly some individual accolades for that young man.
Sebastian Kiana, third to go for Illinois on the high bar, as Illinois looking to go back-to-back team titles in the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships.
Ross Thompson, a 13.35 in the second spot. And this is a big release right here. It's a Cassina. That is a whole lot of human being flying through the air. Holy cow. One thing Illinois is not doing is they're not being conservative. They came with the routines on paper and they are doing them. They're not taking any of the big risky release moves out. If they're gonna win it, they're gonna win it their way.
The junior from New Jersey, Keanu.
Another stuck, landing like a toothpick in a club sandwich.
He's going to blow through his career high of 13.85, mark it down. Anton Stevenson, co-Big Ten Gymnast of the Year, leader in the country. Here he goes on the vault.
And this guy can stick vaults like no other. Oh, he almost gets it. Should be good enough to get him in the finals, though. Big Ten champ on that event.
Noah Roberson, fourth in the country, second in the Big Ten as part of a Penn State team that is first in the Big Ten as a team on the rings, third in the country. Roberson, by the way, 14.65 for Stevenson on that vault you just saw.
So Greg Tamargo, a 12.95 in the second spot. He gave 4/10 back to Illinois' second guy, Ross Thompson. So that lead is back to 2.7 after 2. We saw Sebastian Kiana get a 13.3. We're waiting for Parker Clayton's score in the third spot for Penn State to see how that compares.
So back to Hamish Carter here now on the high bar.
Hamish Carter really missed on the floor rotation for Illinois. Outstanding there. Hurt his ankle a couple weeks ago, but they got him back on a couple events, and he's big for them. Beautiful. Textbook to Kachev's. That last one, actually, the Lynch. Beautiful jam to handstand. Can we get another one? Oh, takes a little step.
Carter feeling it for Illinois. Let's go back to the rings. Noah Roberson, second in the conference, fourth in the country. You see Parker Clayton with that 13.95.
And that's big. The lead is down to 2.05 after 3 on each event for Illinois and Penn State. This Noah Roberson ring routine is massive. Absolutely need to get a high 14 to give themselves a shot.
Cole hung up a good number on the floor, and he is second only to Cameron Bach in the all-around story.
And you mentioned it, 14.45 for Emir Cole. Michigan not going away either. Gotta stick it. Oh, 3/10 step back.
Last to go for Ohio State on the horse, Alec Yoder. He is third in the country, third in the Big Ten, as the horse is dominated by the Big Ten.
And he wants a piece of Yarotska. Team title not going to go Ohio State's way today, but Alec Yoder wants to show that he too is world class on this event. Trying to snatch that pommel horse title away from Yarotska, and in order to do it, he's got to hit today, and this is great so far.
Michael Paradise, Illinois, a 15-1. Yarotska, a 14-9. Yoder going to try to beat Yarotska.
Oh, and we're going to have a battle tomorrow night. Yoder versus Yarotska, and let's not forget Paradise. It's going to be a great one on pommel horse.
Yeah, Paradise with the best score. Yoder second best. Yarotska third best. Those three will be in the top 10. Johnny Jacobson, last to go on the high bar for Illinois. And as John Roethlisberger told you, they have been aggressive.
And they still are. What a fight. Big deduction on that, but what fight. 13.85 for Hamish Carter right before him. If he hits, if Jacobson could finish this out, I do believe it's going to be enough for Illinois. Here it is.
Illinois looking to win their 29th team title. Your runaway leader, Minnesota second with 21. As we go back to the rings, Isaac Hammond, fourth in the conference, sixth in the country on the rings for Coach Jepson and the Penn State Nittany Lions.
And it's going to be interesting because there were a lot of deductions in that Johnny Jacobson high bar routine. Noah Roberson, fourth up, got a 14-3. That closes the lead to less than 2 points. This guy right here, if he can get in the 14s, people, this meet is going to be razor thin. The lead is a 1.5 heading into Johnny Jacobson's high bar routine. I don't know what the judges are going to do with that. There were some breaks, especially on the dismount. If my math is right, and I didn't even pass high school algebra, if you add a 1.5 to 12.4, which is what Johnny Jacobson got, you're at a 13-9. Isaac Hammond gets a 13-9. It's going to get real interesting.
12-4 for Jacobson, by the way. As moments ago, Shane Wiskus on the P-bars for the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Beautiful front one in the quarter.
Illinois, Johnny Jacobson. For Michigan, Jake Moore.
Beautiful double pike. Nice finish for Shane Wiskus. Not the day that he hopes, but
Michael Fletcher will now go for the all-around. Sorry, John, as he comes in with a 69.75. Going to try to chase down Cameron Bach, 83.6, the leader in the clubhouse.
He needs a 13.85 to tie. Better than that to win. Beautiful full twist into Kachev, called a Lucan.
Big Ten Freshman of the Year on the high bar for the Illini.
He's got a 14-9 start value. I don't think it's going to be enough to win the all-around, but he sticks the landing. Holy cow, Fletcher, are you kidding me? He is going to make it difficult for Cameron Bach. Wow, what a day for him.
John, speaking of all-arounds, last to go, Sam Zakutny for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Zakutny with a 68.05 through 5 events.
And he needs a 15.55 on this. He's not going to get that to overtake the leaders, but other than that horseball, he's really had a pretty solid day.
So Fletcher also going to come up short. 3 Michigan Wolverines. Bach, Moore, Cole for the all-around. What a show here. Randy Jepson and the Penn State Nittany Lions. They came in with the belief they may have squeaked by the Illini. We'll tell you when we come back on the Big Ten Network. The 2019 Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships in the books here, and Randy Jepson and the Penn State Nittany Lions so good on the rings. It's unofficial, but we do believe Penn State has captured their 4th ever Big Ten team title. They last won it in 2015, and Penn State at 410 points.